Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode on Boss Your Money with Anthony. Today is a very interesting episode because I'm going to disclose exactly how much I spend in a month living in Dubai. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Dubai? Do you think there's a relatively high cost of living or do you think it's a relatively low cost of living? If you stick around till the end, I'm going to tell you exactly how I spend just under $1,500 a month, including all of my expenses. I'm also going to tell you right now that I don't skimp out on any of my expenses. I live with pretty much as much luxury as I need in my life. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys my little tips and tricks as to how you guys also can live on a frugal budget but not sacrifice on your fun. Before we get started though, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because I did notice that about 65% of my viewers have not subscribed to my channel, and also I am trying to get to that 100 subscriber mark, so your subscription really does mean a lot to me. Once you've done all of that, let's get straight into the video. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, Dubai is quite expensive to live in. But how exactly do I spend just under $1,500 every single month on my expenses? First, let me give you guys a little bit of insight about myself. I'm 30 years old, I've been living in this country for over 2 decades now, and I've been working here for just under 10 years. The interesting thing about Dubai is that when it comes to housing, the price ranges are quite vast. There are spots where you can get relatively cheap accommodation, and there are places where they are very, very expensive. The first thing I did is to find a location for me and my wife that is relatively close to our workplaces and also where the rent is lower than the average. The reason why I always think about my workplace is because that's one of the higher expenses when you consider you're going to be traveling to that location every single day of the week. The second thing I do is I don't visit just one supermarket to do all of my shopping. I visit various different markets where I know that those specific items from my shopping list are the cheapest at those locations. Not only that, I always do have a grocery list, a shopping list, so that I'm not tempted to buy those unnecessary things that are always on sale. The third thing that I always make sure I do in my budget is that I make sure I have a splurge budget. I've learned from my experience that when you say you're not going to spend any money, you end up spending a lot more than you normally would. So what I do is I do have a splurge budget on my monthly budget where I know that if I spend X amount every single month, it's going to be absolutely fine. And the last thing I do is that I always have a miscellaneous item on my budget so that if those little emergencies do occur, for example, if you guys know Dubai is a very hot place to live, and last month my car air conditioner broke down, so I had to use my miscellaneous expense budget to spend towards repairing my car air conditioner. So having said all of that, here's how much I actually spend every single month living in Dubai. I spend 2,600 dirhams per month on my housing. I rent out a one bedroom apartment and it is more than sufficient for my wife and I. So 2,600 dirhams works out to about $708 US. I spend about 400 dirhams on my transportation, and I know that this is slightly on the higher side, but the thing is, even though I spend a little bit extra because I stay just a little bit far from my workplace, it does save my overall cost between my housing and my transportation. If I were to stay closer to my workplace and save a little bit on transportation, I would be spending over 4,000 dirhams between the two of them. And right now I'm saving $400 a month between my housing and my transportation. So that's $109 in transportation. I spend about 800 dirhams on my utilities, which works out to about $218. I spend about 650 dirhams on my groceries every single month, which includes my entire spending on home cooked food and our snacking needs. So groceries is about $177 US. Now the very important part of my monthly spends, and this is where I ensure that it is kept on track, and that is my weekly splurge. So what I've done is that I ensure that I do not spend more than 400 dirhams, which again is about $109 on my monthly extracurricular expenses, if you know what I mean. This mostly goes towards 100 dirhams every single week towards eating out. But if I do know that in the coming weeks we have a bigger event planned, like we have a big family gathering, or if we plan to go to a theme park and spend a little bit more, then in that case, I save up on our weekly spending the previous couple of weeks and use that money towards the grand splurge, if you will. And the last thing I spend on, well, I don't really spend on this, but the last thing is the miscellaneous expense, which I keep about 650 dirhams every single month. Because I'm sure you all have gone through this. You always know that there is always going to be some additional expense. Maybe your roof is leaking, maybe you need to repair your car, maybe your TV breaks down, whatever it may be. I use these funds to spend towards that, and also just go shopping, have some fun, have a little bit extra that particular month, and 650 dirhams, $177 US. So that brings my grand total for the month to about 5,500 dirhams, which works out to just below $1,500. I don't have any debts. I don't have debt repayments at all. That was one of the first things that I did, was to make sure I pay off all of my debts to live a financially free and financially independent life. If you'd like to check out how to budget or how to invest or how to live debt free, I'll leave links in the description below. So please be sure to check those out. That's all from me today. I hope you guys have subscribed to me. As I said, it would really mean a lot if I could reach 100 subscribers. So please don't forget to subscribe and turn the like button blue. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.